This ain't right. And y'all know it ain't right, just like I know it ain't right. It took for somebody like Gene Deal to come out and let everybody know what's going on, man. Hold on, what the hell? Hold on. Hey, Reggie, what the hell, man? Don't make cut everything off. I gotta slap the shit out of him real fast. Y'all stay tuned. But matter of fact, mute the mics and everything. Reggie,
So, man.
come here. Come here. Yeah, I told you I stop doing stuff like that, man. What's wrong with you? Don't messed up the whole damn stream, man. I told your ass. Now get your ass in there somewhere and sit down, man. I do apologize. I do apologize to the people out there. But y'all gotta understand. Angie Stone kids pulled up to the Tyson Chicken Factory early this morning. They got some new jobs. And people wondering, why in the hell is Angie Stone's eldest daughter driving the church van for a living? I ain't the only one that's confused. Now you got people like Gene Deal coming out, speaking on murders. People thought they was playing when they said that Angie Stone got killed. But since Gene Deal came out and said what he said, people paying attention because he a big wig. He blockbuster. Y'all seen him in pictures with Diddy. Y'all seen him in pictures with Mary J. Blige. Y'all seen Gene Deal get butt naked in the swimming pool with all them rappers and them R&B singers and things. He ain't just somebody on the internet that you ain't never seen with a celebrity before. Y'all seen him snatch that wedgie out of Mariah Carey's ass. So when he said that Angie Stone got murdered, people started paying close attention because Gene Deal said it. The same man that got Diddy locked up. I don't give a damn what nobody say. If it wasn't for Gene Deal running his mouth, Diddy wouldn't be in jail right now. Now he's speaking on Angie Stone, Clive Davis, Diddy. Before you know it, Clive Davis old ass gonna be in the orange jumpsuit. It's my old is the new black. They gonna lock his ass up. Y'all gotta listen, because when Gene Deal get to talking, the whole world be listening. This man go platinum on YouTube every time he open his mouth. And he recently came out and said some things about Angie Stone, man. They still speaking about the crash. They don't know what happened for real. But Gene about to tell it. And y'all gonna hear every last word that this man had to say. Because y'all don't get it like this all the time. This a premium and exclusive. This something y'all need to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for, man. Without further ado, y'all need to listen to that Gene Deal.
How you feel about Angie Stone passing away?
Man, it's crazy when somebody can tell you that, and she told a lot of people that people are trying to kill her. She made those statements 2 weeks before she died. Angie Stone said to people around her, she was in fear of her life. And that happened because she found out that she had a lot of money in this publishing and this music game that she had not been able to recoup. So she was doing an audit to recoup the money in which these music record companies owed her throughout the years for songs she had written. And then she comes up dead, and they try to say that she was hit by an 18-wheeler. They said she flew out the window.
Oh no.
And it comes that we find out because one of the guys on the internet paperwork.
No. Y'all don't understand. It's different coming from Gene Deal. I heard it from everybody else. All them other bloggers, they ain't never been around no Diddy. All them other people that told the story, they could have been lying for all we know. People say anything just to get views, man, but goddamn it, Gene Deal said it. It's different now. Things don't change. It ain't what it used to be. It ain't like some man dressed up like a woman said, this is what Gene Deal said. So y'all know it was a bad crash. Man, they had me believing that she ain't even crashed. They had me under the impression that she was all right. Come to find out, she went through the window and everything, according to Gene Deal. Man, somebody need to get her kids some real jobs, working at them Tyson chicken factories. That shit ain't healthy. Them Angie Stone kids. Talking about her eldest daughter driving the church van for a living. That ain't no way to make no money for nobody. I mean, it is, but not for Angie Stone's children. Oh, this is some bad news. If Gene Deal didn't say it, I wouldn't be so emotional about this thing. But I know he telling the truth because he don't never lie. He know everybody in the industry. Diddy, Clive Davis, like I said, he snatched that wedgie out of Mariah Carey's ass. This man famous, and he know famous people. So, matter of fact, run that back, because if he said what I think he just said, that means that this Angie Stone situation is a lot worse than we thought it was. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Comes up dead, and they try to say that she was hit by an 18-wheeler. They said she flew out the window, and it comes that we find out because one of the guys on the internet paperwork, Countdown John, went to the funeral with a hidden camera and saw her whole body.
Oh, no.
And it didn't seem like she was hit by a diesel. Said she looked beautiful in her casket.
Hold on.
He showed that on the internet, bro.
Wait a minute now.
So Angie Stone, she said that somebody was trying to kill her. Somebody was trying to murder her. She was in fear of her life.
Hold on, wait. That went over my head. He said that Angie Stone looked beautiful in the casket. Like ain't nothing happened to her. She looked like she wasn't in no car crash. That means somebody took her out. That means that somebody took out Angie Stone. And it wasn't no crash. So they lied to the public. They lied to the masses. They lied to the kids out there listening. They lied to Christian people that was listening. They lied on Angie. So she didn't get in the car crash. She didn't get ran over by a school bus or whatever the fuck they said, man. They said a bunch of shit. They were sitting on that line. All right, we're going to get to the bottom of this because Gene Deal telling it. It's different now. It ain't a man with a wig on making those stories for views. It ain't no man with big breasts and taco meat all on the screen lying, face full of makeup. We talking about Gene Deal. He telling it now. Tiss ain't telling it. Gene telling it. This the real deal.
And 2 weeks later, she come up dead, bro. You don't find that strange? An accident that 9 to 10 people was in a car with her, in a van with her, and she the only one comes up dead?
Meet the new standard in sleep.
Hold on.
This is Pod 4 Ultra.
Hold on.
My thoughts about that is, if you think the record company owe you some money, if you think you're trying to recoup some money from the record industry, you better think twice, and unless you got some real protection or some real people behind you.
Yeah, man. And you know, people were saying that it's a possibility that Clive Davis had Angie Stone. And I don't want to say it, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't believe it. People be making those stories lying on celebrities and stuff. They trying to make it seem like Clive Davis had Angie Stone on drugs. Like how he had Whitney Houston on drugs. Then they said that Sly Stone and the family of Sly Stone is Angie Stone family. And Sly Stone is Angie Stone grandfather. And that's how she got in with Clive Davis, because of her family, the Stone family. And he did the same thing that he did with Whitney Houston with them drugs, because Angie was concerned about the money for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 50 years went by and she finally started wondering where the money was at. It's like, damn, you could have thought about that 20, 30 years ago. You know, you want to wait till you 70, 60, 70 years old and wonder where the money at. Well, damn, shit, what happened today? She just woke up one day and said, where my money at? You know, and she was still touring and things. And next thing you know, she gone. But like I said, now that Gene deal, letting the world know what's going on. We ain't got to worry about no more lies. We ain't got to worry about no more YouTubers making up no stories, no more people blogging, trying to get a check. Gene Deal is the real deal. And the way he tell it, all bills, all debts gonna be paid. Angie Stone kids might as well quit them jobs at them factories because they're about to get paid. Her eldest daughter, she got some teeth coming. And she ain't got to worry about no church vans or nothing, doing none of that shit no more. Gene about to tell it.
Because it's crazy.
So you personally, you feel like it was foul play?
Nope, nobody gonna, bruh. I think it's foul play behind the Angie Stone stuff, bruh. Because why would she be in fear of her life? Why would she start cleaning up and start saying that she feel like she's gonna be unalive, that somebody's gonna do something to her? Why would she prepare for her death? And then she come up dead. Strange, bro. And that's what happens in the music industry. These people have not, they may not seem real big, but they done wrote music for the greats. She wrote music for the greats. You understand? She wrote music for musicals. She wrote music for movies. And she never got paid her money. And then when they get these investigators to go and investigate these publishing investigators, and they go and investigate everything that was bought, sold, or stole, and they come back with all these millions of dollars that these big record companies got.
He about to say big deal. I knew something was zesty by Gene Deal, man. What the hell? He just sitting up there talking about, man, he done slipped up and said something real zesty. Now I can't take his word for a damn thing. He over there thinking about the BBC. Why he speaking on Angie Stone? Did y'all catch that? He tried to straighten that shit back out. What the hell he thinking about? Look at this.
That these big record companies got.
Hold on.
They take them to that these big record companies got.
The hell?
Bought, sold, or stole, and they come back with all these millions of dollars that these big record companies got.
You can't take Aunt Jean word for a motherfucking thing, man. I'm gonna have to end the whole video. He thinking about the BBC. Sitting over there, his legs gapped open. Look at the look on his face. He know he wrong.
They take him to law. They take him to court. Somebody got to pay this. They say you ain't got to pay no dead artists.
Damn, man. R.I.P. to her, man. Unfortunate. But to get back to this lawsuit, how you feel about Kirk Burroughs saying that, Diddy destroyed his career?
He did. He did. Diddy destroyed his reputation. Kirk is right about that. I was there on those occasions. When Kirk was dealing with Mary, brought Mary's career back. Kirk was a musical genius, whereas that, a marketing genius. He knew how to get the money. He knew the people who to go at for the money, and he did what he had to do to bring Mary back. Diddy planted bad seeds, was telling people don't do business with him. So he's right about that, brother. And after he got Mary from him, Kirk never worked no place else.
Oh.
So he's not lying about that.
So Mary J. Blige might be next. I was wondering about Mary because people ain't been saying nothing about her. She on the run. She could be in hide, man. She next. And she got a hell of a catalog. And I'm pretty sure they ain't been paying Mary what she owed neither. Can you imagine the millions of dollars that they withholding from Mary J. Blige? And she on the Breakfast Club complaining, talking about how she broke. She paying child support for kids and she ain't even got no damn kids. She paying spousal support to a man that's laid up with all different types of women, spending her money in Brazil. He all crazy, he international, spending Mary J. Blige's money. So when she figure out what the hell going on, you know she gonna be trying to get her money. She did the Super Bowl, fell out on stage. Dr. Dre ain't even reached back to try to help her ass up. Diddy in jail. Clive Davis getting old. She need to figure out where her money at right now. He about to be going to trial next month. So Mary, now's the time or forever hold your peace. I'm pretty sure they probably owe her $1 billion. If they owe Angie Stone $50 million when she passed, just imagine how much money they owe Mary J. Blige. If something happened to Mary and we don't get the 411, that's gonna let me know that they really out here killing these artists, trying to keep their money and their royalties and things.
He's diabolical when it comes to that. He did it to Mary J. Blige. He did it to the band members. I mean, he did it to Wendy Williams.
He had sex with all of them. I believe
he did it to Wendy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's diabolical when it comes to shit like that, bro. He owned the music business in New York City and California. He had friends everywhere, bro. He had friends in high places. He owned the radio stations. You ain't see that Tupac interview from Mary J. from
Angie Martinez.
What's her name? Angie Martinez, because of Diddy.
Oh.
That's probably one of the greatest. That's probably one of the greatest of all times, probably interviews ever. He stopped that from coming out. He got Wendy Williams fired. Anybody he told in the music business not to mess with somebody, they didn't. Tracy Waples don't even know this. Tracy Waples is probably one of the top musical geniuses in the industry that nobody knows. She was behind Rihanna. She was behind Method Man. Tracy Waples.
Hold on, wait a minute. Look at Macy Gray wrote songs for Method Man and Rihanna and Mary J. and all them people. I ain't know Macy Gray was doing shit like that. Oh, look, Gene Dill just told me something I ain't never heard before. Macy Gray wrote the METHOD Man song. She wrote this. She was writing for the Wu-Tang Clan. I ain't never heard that before. And she produced Rihanna's music. She wrote Umbrella and Method Man music. Well, damn, somebody need to write her a check. She gonna come up missing before you know it. Ain't nobody trying to give Macy Gray no $50 million and she don't even comb the back of her neck. You know, I mean, I would if I had the money, but Clive Davis ain't trying to pay her ass, man. They said that he had all them hooked on dope from and I ain't gonna speak on my elders and things, but if you seen them working with Clive Davis, he had a little booger sugar for each and every last one of them, man. Look at this. He was having them hooked on dope since the 70s and shit. Look at this. Look. He had Pink Floyd, the Isley Brothers. While building the rock roster, Davis also played a role. He had Whitney Houston on there. He had Luther Vandross. What happened to Luther Vandross? Did Clive Davis have something to do with him too? They said Ray Charles got hooked on that shit. Messing with Clive Davis allegedly. Is that Halle Berry or the fuck is that? Amaya? I don't know who that is, y'all. Could be Maya, Christina Milian, Halle Berry, fucking Doja Cat. Who that he with? You just never know. Awfully strong, ain't she? Whoever that is. Who that's supposed to be? Pink? Hold on. That's his wife. Hey man, I ain't about to be talking about that man personal family. He was with Bruce Springsteen and all them legends back in the day. I remember when I was a child, man, I remember like it was yesterday. The Grammys was on and Whitney Houston won by 10 Grammys in one night, man. If it wasn't 10, it was 11 Grammys, man. She kept getting up. Every time she sat down, she had to get back up and go on stage to get another Grammy. And I remember I was a little boy and Clive Davis was sitting there. He was clapping his hands and things. And I figure, what the hell gonna happen to Whitney? Because she winning all these trophies. Next thing you know, she gone. They said she had a dope habit. But the thing about Angie Stone is, ain't nobody hear nothing about her. But they said that she the reason why D'Angelo got hooked on dope. And people been saying that for years. So they trying to say she tried to do the same thing with D'Angelo that Clive Davis was doing with his artists. You know, she figured, hell, you know, that's how it go in the music industry. She was, how old was she? D'Angelo was a child. You know what I'm saying? D'Angelo had to be about, what they say, 19 years old. She was 30 something years old. So she figured, I'm a Clive Davis his ass. And he started getting butt naked on his videos, and people ain't know that he was on PCP allegedly. Talking about how does it feel? Shit, anything feel good when you going off dope. That's what they like. I don't know the proof. You know, I'm just a YouTuber. But when Gene Deal tell it, it sounds a whole lot different. Listen.
When she was supposed to do a deal with L.A. Reid and them. And L.A. Reid told Diddy, she asked him for like 300 to 400,000, something like that. He said, man, you can get that bit cheaper than that. Offer her 250.
He said that.
I just started laughing.
He said that about Mary.
And Tracy was his friend. So to see him do that and say he did that to Kirk Burroughs, and Kirk Burroughs had that in his lawsuit, he ain't lying about that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was going to deal with Kirk Burroughs or give him a job or do anything. Look all the great things he did for Bad Boy, getting the money and everything. Why he ain't working someplace else? Leote left Bad Boy and went to Def Jam and started working with Rough Riders.
Yeah, he did.
He ain't put no bad word on her. So Kirk he ain't wrong about that one, bro. Not at all.
Yeah, he also alleged in his lawsuit that, you know, in late 95, Diddy held him down to a bed in the simulated intercourse until he ejaculated.
He couldn't wait to say that. He just couldn't wait. They wasn't even talking about nothing like that. Here he go. That got me wondering about the art of dialogue, man. Is there an art to the dialogue? What he do to them boys before? Look at Gene Deal's face. He wasn't expecting that type of zesty. He said Diddy pinned him down and waited till he ejaculated.
So Kirk he ain't wrong about that one, bro. Not at all.
Yeah, he also alleged in his lawsuit that, you know, in late 95, Diddy held him down to a bed in the simulated intercourse until he ejaculated.
Damn, he hunched the booty like a pillow until he couldn't take it no more, messed up his damn Versace pants. Is that what they saying in them lawsuits? Wait a minute now. He let it go in the pants. It wasn't in the course, it was in the pants. He hunched that man on the back until he let loose. Shit. What type of lawsuit? That's a teddy bear lawsuit. File a chapter TEDDY, a teddy. Got hunched. Oh shit, I almost ended the stream. How he gonna get paid off for that? Your Honor, he tushied my tushy. How the fuck he gonna get some money? He should have kept that to himself, man. He figured he could get a little spare change for saying some shit like that about Diddy. He pinned him down on the bed, humped that booty through the clothes, and then let loose all in his pants, man. And he trying to bring that to the court of law. Hold on, run it. I can't believe what I just heard. Hold on, man. I gotta get this together. Hold on, y'all.
Lawsuit? He ain't lying about that, bro. Nobody was gonna deal with Kirk Burroughs or give him a job or do anything. Look all the great things he did for Bad Boy.
Too old for this shit, man. Too old. You know, I've been doing this for about, I don't know how long I've been doing this, man. Cadillac ain't got no gas. I just want somebody to hit that like button. Somebody call me because, you know, if something happened to me, I don't know who I'm gonna tell. You know, because I'm old as hell, man. Been drinking this Pepto-Bismol like it's a goddamn 7-Up. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to do this shit, man. See, the thing about it is, these young people that be lying to y'all, man. The people be getting on here just trying to make some money, and I get it. People want to get paid and shit. You know, I want to get paid too. But damn, somebody got to tell the truth. I would have retired a long time ago if I knew it was a new generation of people that's willing to keep it real with y'all. If it wasn't for people like Gene Deal, we wouldn't know what to believe. That's why it's important to listen to every word that this man got to say, because he ain't got no reason to lie. He don't live his life. You know what I'm saying? Gene Deal, an old ass man. So when he tell it, he's speaking from the heart. And what he said about Angie Stone and how they got video footage of her in the casket and it looked like wasn't nothing wrong with her. You figure if it went down the way they said it went down, it would have been a closed casket. Nobody would have been able to see her, but for the people that did, they're like, damn, she ain't got a scar. They said she was looking like an angel up in there. Rest in peace to Angie Stone, but everybody else making it seem like, oh, she was all fragmented or she was mutilated. People saying anything. So I'm glad that Gene Deal came out to speak on it, because I was losing faith. And since people getting a real story, then now they could finally bring some justice to what's going on here. Because I heard the stories, you know, about her daughter driving the church van for a living. And, you know, whatever you got to do to, you know, put food on the table. But they going to be eating Bibles if the price of food keep going up like that. You know, so it's best that we get to the bottom of this now. And Gene Deal is on the job. You know, we got somebody certified that's telling it. Now, listen.
And Tracy was his friend.
Mm-hmm.
So to see him do that and say he did that to Kirk Burroughs, and Kirk Burroughs had that in his lawsuit, he ain't lying about that, bro. Nobody was going to deal with Kirk Burroughs or give him a job or do anything. Look all the great things he did for Bad Boy, getting the money and everything. Why he ain't working someplace else? Leote left Bad Boy and went to Def Jam and started working with Rough Riders. He ain't put no bad word on her.
Mm-hmm.
So Kirk ain't wrong about that one, bro. Not at all.
Yeah, he also alleged in his lawsuit that, you know, in late 95, Diddy held him down to a bed in the simulated intercourse until he ejaculated.
Bro, we still on this. That's just crazy. It's asinine. It's to the point where it's that this nigga showing the monster side of Diddy that he should have been came out with this long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk got all this information that he had. You understand? 5-6 years ago when I came out with this shit and saying this shit that Puff was doing, you know, he didn't say a motherfucking word. He stayed mute. He stayed quiet. Now that other people came out and he's in a vulnerable situation, he hoping people that's going to come out here and feel a certain way for him because that shit happened to him.
Yeah, see, that's the same thing Monique tried to do when Tyler Perry went up there and spoke at Angie Stone's funeral. She tried to take all the attention off of Angie Stone and put it on herself. Like Angie ain't the victim. Like people ain't trying to figure out what happened with Angie. Monique tried to take all the attention and bring it to her and her husband and some beef with Tyler Perry. If Tyler Perry wasn't at the funeral, Monique probably would have never even spoke on Angie Stone. So it seemed like a lot of people in this situation trying to take an opportunity to put themselves out in the forefront based off of what's going on with Angie Stone. And it's sick and it's twisted. And that's how people are able to get away with murder. Because when the body dropped, everybody turned into piranhas trying to get them a piece or trying to get in the damn limelight because a celebrity don't fall in. All the Angie Stone friends, her family, all the people that claim to know her, they all got some shine. And a lot of people still getting paid off of it. So with Gene Deal saying what he just said, it just goes to show that the entertainment industry is so twisted that if any one of them get killed, matter of fact, let me show y'all an example real quick. And this gonna be random. Look at this. If something happened to LL Cool J, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? God forbid, how many people gonna come out? The greatest of all times, my favorite rapper, he was the GOAT. Oh, LL, I remember back in the day, back in the 80s and the night, everybody gonna come out. Family, friends, cousins, loved ones, everybody in the entertainment business. The whole world gonna stop for like a week if something happened to LL. The blogs, it's gonna be nostalgia, the founding member of hip hop. If the inventor of this, then they gonna give him all these props and stuff. They gonna make $1 billion. They'll figure out a way to make $1 billion off of this man passing. In the funeral, can you imagine if they did what they did for Nipsey Hussle? Just imagine what they'd do for LL Cool J. But then again, Quincy Jones passed, and they made it seem like ain't shit happened. You know, it all depends, man. But I'm pretty sure the media, especially the state that we in now, to where people really ain't got no lives like that. It don't matter how much money you got. It's impossible to have a real life because of all this social media shit going on. You ain't gonna have no privacy. You ain't gonna be able to fully enjoy yourself without some clown coming up on the street, all in your mess. You know, people be trying to lay low for the most part. So the biggest thing in the news, the biggest thing in media is when somebody died. So all these celebrities, they just waiting. Look at this. And this, God forbid. Can you imagine the news story? God forbid something happened to any of these celebrities. But can you hear the news? Oh, there's breaking news. We have a very, very sad story. The legendary Janet Jackson has passed away due to blah, blah, blah. Man, they'll make $1 trillion in news coverage. They're going to have Tito on the news, Jermaine on the news. Hey, did y'all see this? Hold on, look. Yeah. Did y'all see this, man? Oh, this gonna be some shit. She look dead on their mama. They working on a new movie. She gonna kill the hell out of this role. Look, that's Nia Long. And that's their mama, man. That ain't no Photoshop, no nothing. This may be one of the greatest biopics in world history. You don't look that the forehead, everything, man. This gonna be crazy. But how they gonna get the mama right and get Steph Curry or somebody to play Michael Jackson? you know, they're gonna have to get him right too. Unless the movie is based on a mother or whatever the case. But that's Negro here, no there. Shit, if Katherine Jackson passed, God forbid, she like 90-something years old, they gonna spend that shit. They gonna bring back the Joe Jackson ass whoopings. They gonna bring back Tito, Jermaine, Latoya. They gonna be questioning her motherhood and everything. So that's the biggest thing. It's April, and I guarantee you, it's YouTubers and bloggers waiting for the next body to drop. Like shit, I sure wish one of these niggas would get shot. I seen it, man. I had to rush home a couple of times because I ain't gonna say who it was, but people love it when these celebrities die. Unfortunately, last month it was all about Angie Stone, but I'm happy this month. And Gene Deal is on the job because we finally get the truth. Hold on, play that.
Okay, he did all this to you. When did you go and try to get help? He pinned you to the bed. He made you ejaculate on yourself and this like that. When did you go get help, Kirk? When did you ask somebody to help you? You didn't ask nobody to help you because at the time, y'all was lovers.
He did what now?
And maybe, just maybe, you enjoyed y'all situation.
Oh, he mad.
You understand? Five is to the point where is that this nigga showing the monster side of Diddy that he should have been came out with this long time ago.
Yeah.
Kirk got all this information that he had. You understand? 5-6 years ago when I came out with this shit and saying the shit that Puff was doing, you know, he didn't say a motherfucking word. He stayed mute. He stayed quiet. Now that other people came out and he's in a vulnerable situation, he hoping people that's gonna come out here and feel a certain way for him because that shit happened to him. Okay, he did all this shit to you. When did you go and try to get help? He pinned you to the bed. He made you ejaculate on yourself and this like that. When did you go get help, Kirk?
Oh, man.
When did you ask somebody to help you? You didn't ask nobody to help you because at the time, y'all was lovers.
Damn, man. See, people don't want no help when they involved with somebody. Same thing with Cassie. She wasn't looking for no help when she was with Diddy and they was in a romantic relationship. She wasn't trying to get no 30 mil and file no lawsuits when they was in a romantic relationship. But when things fall apart, that's when people start thinking about what they can get out of a situation. And for Angie Stone, it got me wondering, man, I ain't trying to say nothing messed up, nothing mean, nothing disrespectful, but you gotta wonder, what was the relationship like with Clive Davis? I seen them women go on them award shows with Clive Davis and you would have thought they was dating each other. Hold on. They get around that boy Clive and all morale go out the window. They act right when they get around Clive Davis. They act like they got some sense when they get around Clive Davis. They be sitting up there laughing, joking, talking all crazy. But when Clive come around, that's when they get some act right. And it got me wondering, What was their relationship like with this man? They said Pat LaBelle was cleaning this man's house when he came home. He didn't know what the hell was going on. Wake up, the Folgers in his cup, making him pancakes and shit. He didn't know what the hell was going on when he get around these women. They stop talking when he come around. They switch up the way they talk. You would have thought a bill collector called their ass, how they be talking when Clive Davis come around there. He buying all they food, all they groceries. They calling him Big Daddy when they back that thing up. He got old ones, young ones. The old ones don't like the young ones because they fighting over Clive. All on his arm, giggling, laughing, smelling his breath. We seen it on plenty of, what was the relationship like? From the mama to the auntie to the cousin. I can't call it, because I know how people do. And I ain't talking about Whitney Houston. I'm just saying they got Clive Davis. Look. They act right when he come around there. All up on Patty. Shit, he had that Patty pie before anybody. Allegedly, man. That's what they claiming. Diddy be at her house eating up all her food. She wait till they leave, and then that's when she start talking shit. People act right with this man. Chaka Khan was jealous of Whitney Houston because she was with Clive all the time. What the fuck they had going on behind the scenes, man? Was he all of they man? Well, I guess so. He paying everybody bill. And the way they did Whitney, it was disturbing. Look. And then he was kicking. Why he got to keep a long distance between him and Angie? Y'all see that shit? He was all up on Whitney. He get around Angie Stone. He act like he don't want to get close like that. Wait a minute. Angie Stone and Clive Davis together. Is that L.A. Reid? Angie Stone, L.A. Reid, Clive Davis. And she had the nerve to be speaking on people in the entertainment business. That's the worst thing she could have did. Why she ain't just wait? And rest in peace to Angie Stone. But I'm saying, she could have handled all that business behind the scene. The people in the chat ain't gonna help do a goddamn thing. She thought she was gonna bring some justice to her situation by rallying up a bunch of trolls. They ain't gonna do nothing but hit the thumbs down as soon as she log off. They had her on stage. Clive Davis, Aretha Franklin, Angie Stone, and Justin Timberlake. Well, when do they get to retire? Matter of fact, we need to do this real quick. What happened to Aretha Franklin? You know what I'm saying? That's what I need to know. Because they all was working with this man. Hold on, switch that up. God damn, I got homeless people. How did Aretha Franklin? I spelled her name wrong. What happened to Aretha, man? I hope it wasn't high blood pressure or nothing like that. Because if it was, they ain't got nothing to do with Clive Davis. Hold on. Aretha Franklin, how did she die? What was Queen of Soul's cause of death? And I hate to be speaking on this, but you just never know. She was 76. Her spokesperson has confirmed. But how did she die? The Queen of Soul cause of death was advanced. Oh, damn, rest in peace. Aretha was surrounded by her friends and family. Okay. It don't sound like nothing happened. It don't sound like Clive Davis did nothing to Aretha. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? What the hell?
Like, I can't do it, mate. Not again. Not another day. I hate this shit. They're having all this money. It's not right. People confusing me with Richard Simmons. I can't take it another day, mate. I can't do it. I'm going to go now. I'll leave you all. Goodbye.
Richard, no. They go by his house the next day. I'm still here, mate. Didn't work this time. Next time I got you. Don't worry, man. I can't do it anymore. They said he had 9 attempts. Well, he said 9 tragic words. I can't do it anymore, mate. I'm sick. I'm tired. He's still here, ain't he? Who the hell? He said this motherfucker had autism. Shit, he looked like the man that's supposed to that's the real Colonel Sanders. The real chicken man. That's what the fuck he is. And I'm sorry, that's Butch Cassidy? I thought that nigga was a gangster. Oh, that's Butch Cassidy. God damn. Boy, eat pork, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When they invented Dove soap, because the soap they was using back then wasn't worth shit. What's the name? John Quincy Adams. Like, do you want to be my slave? Too late. Nigga had a paperwork. He had your paperwork. They ain't even had no fax machines back then. Like, you want to be my slave? Nigga, write up a slavery note on your ass. Harriet Tubman. Well, dang, she gangster. She looking like I wish a nigga would. Got a shotgun under her chair and everything. Andrew Jackson. Well, goddamn. That Abraham Lincoln vampire movie must have been real. That shit was facts. The niggas was really vampires back then. All right, how the hell we get? That's Van Gogh. God damn, look like Pumpkinhead out this bit. Like, I don't eat human flesh. There's not humans on the menu. Only human flesh. Look like he eat people or something like that. Shit, they better quit playing with this Red Fox Photoshop shit. You can't tell me they ain't Fred Sanford. They go, oh shit, there go the big one. That ain't no damn Frederick. I know Red Fox and Frederick Douglass, apart from each other, they need to quit with this shit. Oh, damn. Look like he was. Mama had a Foreman grill between her legs or something. What the hell happened to this? Oh man, we gonna move on. I do apologize, man. We just joking around a little bit. We about to get into this. Y'all need to listen at this. Y'all ready? Here we go. Cut that off. Y'all need to listen at this.
I just want to put some things in perspective and in check. Now there's this media company that's trolling my page, things that I was sharing with my fans for my fans' benefit, only regarding my dealings in the industry over 50 years and things I wanted to share for the benefit of my fans and me in the industry. And of course, you know, I've had a lot of association with a lot of people, but I'm not one to drag anybody's good or bad beings. However, they say if you don't have something good to say, just don't say anything. I try to pride myself in speaking positive on every situation. Mm-hmm. But of course, they have now taken this by trolling my page and put a spin on it to try to make it seem dark and derogatory. First and foremost, I would never, ever, ever make a claim to just dogging somebody out because God does that. I don't have to fight that battle. That's a battle that he fights for me. But I just want to, for the sake of my fans, let you guys know that I am not purposely dragging anybody. And you guys know, everybody that's in the news, 9 times out of 10, we all know them. We done ran across them. We done had business dealings with them, friendship, music, whatever the case may be. It's all innocent until it's proven guilty. I don't care what people think or say, but you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. All that stuff y'all hearing about, they done fabricated, they editing, they taking stuff, they trolling my page, taking interviews day after day after day and piecing them together to make the world believe that, oh, Angie Stone's out here dragging this one and dragging that one. Never that.
She was trying to cover Up everything they had going on social media. She didn't want to be a part of the Diddy scandal. She didn't want to be a part of the talks with Clive Davis. She was trying to clean all that stuff up because they was putting her name in there. They were saying Angie Stone said this and Angie Stone said that because Angie Stone is a respectable R&B legend. And if she say something, then she mean it. She made songs for the brothers. So what she got against Diddy unless he wrong? She made songs for all different types of people. So why would she have some malice in her heart speaking on these people unless they was dead wrong? Now, if Nicki Minaj get online and gap her legs open and say anything about anybody, people gonna say, oh, that hoochie mad. She must be on her cycle. Maybe she having a bad day. If Megan Thee Stallion start crying on TV, talking about anything, they gonna say that bitch lying. She lied on Tory Lanez. Now she lying on the entertainment business. Don't listen to Megan. If Cardi B get on there talking shit about the entertainment business, well, shit, you should have thought about that before you sued Tasha K. Your baby daddy, he a hoe. You a hoe. They some hoes. People ain't gonna take no hoes seriously. But when Angie Stone tell it, that's when people pay close attention because she ain't never bent over in front of no camera and held one butt cheek open for the world to see. She ain't never did nothing like that, man. She ain't never tried to put her leg behind her head or nothing like that. She ain't no freak. So when she speak it, people take her seriously, man. That's something you can't say about a lot of these new artists. And the sad part about it is this, man. A lot of them new artists, when they be on stage doing their little dance and singing their little booty song, and everybody know the lyrics, they ain't got no talent, ain't got no vocal skills. They jumping around looking all stupid. And they look in the audience, and Angie Stone sitting in the audience, looking up there, shaking her head like your whack ass. How y'all think Doja Cat feel when she look in the audience and she doing her Tia and Tamara, and Angie Stone sitting up looking at her like, damn, sister, what is this bullshit? How y'all think these rappers feel when they on stage? A Millie, my nigga, we should leave him in the hill with the Billy. And Method Man sitting in the crowd looking up at their ass. How you think they feel, man? They feel worthless. They feel garbage. They feel like they ain't helping evolve nothing. So a lot of times it be these young artists or these younger people in the entertainment business trying to get rid of the older people because they know they ain't really bringing nothing to the table. You got people that paved the way for these artists to get on stage and do whatever the hell they doing. They couldn't begin to pay these people back. So y'all need to see this. Y'all need to take a good look at this. Now, I ain't saying Brandy ain't talented. I ain't saying Jennifer Hudson not talented. But they couldn't hold the candle to Whitney. We all can agree. Monica, she good. She ain't fucking with Whitney, though. And they trying to push these new artists, push these new acts, and Whitney come through the door. And she trying to warn these girls, like, don't sniff that. Like, if Clive Davis got Febreze, it ain't Febreze in there. If he got baby oil, it ain't baby oil in there. She trying to warn them or give them a heads up, like, don't let him do you like how he did. I was just like you one day. He wanted to take pictures and shit with me all day. He got some new booty up there. And the twisted part about it is they knew exactly what was going on. Ray J knew. Brandy knew what was going on. Jennifer Hudson, she was too busy getting rid of her own damn family, allegedly. So it's a sick industry. So when Angie Stone started opening her mouth and speaking on these people, a lot of alarms went off and she no longer here. But why now did she come out with this stuff? What about 10 years ago? What was they pacifying her with if it wasn't money? What was keeping her satisfied all these years if it wasn't money? How did she not know that she was owed $50 million until all these years later? Was they giving her rented jewelry or something? Was they buying her groceries? Was they paying her bills? How could she not? What was they giving her to keep her not being aware of all of the money that was owed to her until later? And then when she did find out and tried to do something about it, she no longer here. Somebody help me understand that, man. I'm looking in the comments to see if anybody said, I was thinking about that the other day. Where that know that, Brandy? No, that ain't what we talking about. Somebody help me understand why y'all think Angie waited so long. You know, that's what I want to see. Okay, hold on. We got to get into this. All right. Nope. Okay, here we go. Y'all listening? Okay, here we go.
I would never do that. So I would take interviews day after day after day and piece them together to make the world believe that, oh, Angie Stone's out here dragging this one and dragging that. Never that. I would never do that. So I will get back on my page tomorrow, not on a Sunday, but tomorrow, and everybody know some of my secrets that I have endured over the years. Nothing to hurt anyone else. With that being said, I would advise you not to log in 30 minutes for no mess, because that's something they pull together. Just like they told y'all I was a dead girl and I'm very much alive. It's because they're looking for numbers and they want you to pay for that information. Why you got to pay for it and I'm giving it to you? For all of you that want to hear some juicy stuff, give me a thumbs up. At hand is...
It was social media that took her out, y'all. She was doing all right before she started doing them blogs and shit. Now I'm paranoid, man. I need to lock the door. People be talking too much. Nobody asked her. She volunteered information. She said, why should y'all pay for information when I could give it to y'all for free? That's fucking up the game, man. Now, Angie out here talking. And the older people get, the less of a filter they have. So this sent an alarm off throughout the whole entire industry. And y'all know the more attention people get for doing something, the more they gonna do it. She figured, hell, why should I get on stage and do these shows when I could do a blog and expose some people and get paid $100,000-$200,000 a month? It was starting to catch on, man. All it would have took was for an Angie Stone blog to go viral. And then that's when people start making up shit to keep up with the high demand. They have to fabricate some shit or switch some shit around just to keep people entertained. And that's the arena that she was going into. She's like, hell, I got a name. I'm a celebrity. I could easily get me a following. I got stories for days. I'm tired of getting on stage, traveling, doing these shows. She probably was hoping that she'd do a couple of shows just to get her damn YouTube up. Before she performed her song, she probably made everybody take out their phone and follow her on Instagram or some shit. That's what celebrities have to do. She was going to be like the next Jaguar Wright. And that's a no-no. When you certified and you connected with people at the top, they'll let a Jaguar slide. She ain't never sat down and had a ravioli dinner with Clive Davis. So what? She did a concert with Jay-Z. So what? She went on tour with the Roots. She was never in Diddy's swimming pool. So they let her slide. But an Angie Stone trying to pull a Jaguar Wright, talking about they owe her $50 million and she naming names. How they gonna let that slide? They didn't. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. Gene Deal letting it be known that Diddy, Clive Davis, and a bunch of other people allegedly had something to do with her passing.
P. Diddy. I take you all the way back to the early 2000s. P. Diddy had just become an intern at Uptown Records, which was housed in MCA Music,
Uh-oh.
which was where I just happened to have a publishing deal as an MCA songwriter. Woo! Can we get into it, guys?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what I have to say in revealing what I witnessed in that time period was a very young Sean Puffy Combs, that had really been busting his chops to appeal to Andre Harrell as the intern of life. He was getting it in. I mean, that was when
he said he was getting it in. And then she said something about Andre Harrell. Wait a minute, who was getting it in?
Appeal to Andre Harrell as the intern of life. He was getting it in. I mean, that was when Albie Shore was there. That was when Jodeci was there. That was when Mantronic was hot. They were up against, that kind of lineage. Mary J. Blige had just been brought to the scene. I just happened to be a fly on the wall at the time. Unlike so many other people that say they were there, I actually was on the ground floor of the groundbreaking P. Diddy as an intern, Mary J. Blige as a new artist, Total, and so many others that were coming through to the Uptown camp. I had never seen a hustle so intense as P. Diddy. He would run through MCA Records like he owned the place. I mean, he would dot. I'm like, who is that skinny little kid? He looks very much like his son looks now. I mean, it's uncanny, but it's almost identical. But he was running through that building like, I am the man, and if I'm not that man.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Now, don't judge me for this. Don't get upset. But it's a possibility that maybe Angie Stone was a spy. She been in the game for a long time. They had her in there since the 70s. What was her purpose all them years since the 70s up until now? And she finally starting to tell it. Ain't no secret that she don't know. She been around for a long time. And she finally decided that she wanted to come out and start speaking on people. How long have they had industry plans? What was her main objective? I don't know. This was get spooky, man. Because how she didn't know where her money was at? And why would you got all this intel? She know how everybody else getting paid. How everybody else came up. She watched people start off as interns and become billionaires. What was going on? What did he do to them people? How he let Diddy make all that money and Monica ain't got no $1 billion, neither do Brandy. And they was the main ones on his arm. Wyclef was in on it. And Angie been in the game longer than all of them. What did he do? What was he doing with them? Clive Davis must have been packing or something, because this shit ain't adding up. No Diddy. What the hell? It had to be something, man. When do you ask that man, when do I get a raise? Where is my money? Like, I wrote this song, I wrote that song. I'm tired of eating cheese sandwiches and shit. Get on stage. They said the promoters ain't have her money. She came in on Sugar Hill Records. Y'all want to know why they call it Sugar Hill? And I ain't speaking bad on nobody, man. I would never make a fool out of myself or play myself like that. But y'all know why they called it Sugar Hill? This sound like some old, I ain't even gonna say it out of respect for Angie Stone. They got Clive Davis cussing her ass out in the elevator and her head looking a hot mess. Y'all see that? He said, I need her dead. Why they do her like that? They got her laid out on the side of the road with blood all over the place, talking about he silenced her. This is sick. I'm gonna have to steal me a couple of these shits for my thumbnails. That nigga said, she got Clive Davis straight cussing her ass out in the elevator like, you listen to me, bitch. Oh shit, I clicked on it. Oh shit, I'm doing too much. Hold on, y'all. Clive Davis was arrested. They put his ass in jail for the murder. They need to cut this shit out. I'm gonna take this picture too for my next thumbnail. What the hell? They got him looking like the Unabomber over Angie Stone's allegations. Shit, they said Beyonce had halitosis back in the day. Angie Stone looked like she don't give a damn as long as she getting paid. This shit is weird, man. And with the rumors about D'Angelo piled on top of that, she got him hooked on drugs, allegedly. I don't believe none of that stuff, man. But back in the day, they all was on it. I'm talking Chaka Khan. She admitted that she was on it. Chaka Khan ain't hold back. She let the world know that she was on that booger sugar. Hold on. She said it on Vlad TV. She said, I find ways to hang on, substance abuse, and all kinds of other shit. She was hanging on by a thread like, I'm still here, baby. Come on, time to party, baby. Yeah, come on, baby. She found ways to hang on. Y'all see this? I find ways to hang on, substance abuse, and all kinds of other shit. She was into it all. So if she can admit it, Whitney Houston, she admitted it, that she was on that stuff. It's a possibility they all was on it. She was 71 years old, just a few years older than Angie. You know what I'm saying? And people saying it's too soon. It's a sore spot. You can't be speaking on stuff like that. I ain't said nothing about Angie Stone being on drugs. Because as far as I'm concerned, she was sober. I ain't heard no stories about her drinking, smoking, or nothing like that. It ain't no rumors out there about Angie Stone hitting the pipe. And if her lips was black, everybody would have noticed it. You know what I'm saying? She ain't had no weed smoking, crack smoking lips. So I ain't trying to say that Angie was on anything, but she was in the company of a whole lot of crackheads that was working for Clive Davis. Let me see something. Hold on. Hold on. What the fuck? Can y'all see this? Aretha Franklin's secret life, from her orgy-loving father to alcoholism, addiction, and abuse. They sure they ain't talking about Monique. Her orgy-loving father. Like, it's time, baby. It's time. Like, come on, y'all. Yeah, everybody come on in here. Come on, y'all. Come on. Y'all ready? Oh, man, what you doing, man? Take them trunks off. Her orgy loving father. Like, man, what time? Man, y'all better bring y'all ass. Take that shit off. Her I can't believe what I'm looking at right now, man. Her orgy loving father. I don't seen it all, man. I'm at a loss for words. I don't seen it all. They said the singer who passed away today lived a turbulent and dramatic life before her death. Get your shit out of here. Goddamn. What the hell? Is that her father? Because it better not be. Better put on some clothes around that motherfucker. However, behind the glamour, the 76-year-old singer has lived a dramatic life from her teenage pregnancies to an orgy-loving father, alcoholism, according to the book. Dad Clarence Lavon, C.L. Franklin, was a prominent Baptist minister, and he loved the whole congregation was getting freaked. He invented the freak off. He was a prominent Baptist minister. You take your old lady in the back room and it's lights out. Her mama, her cousins, and your friends, whose church allegedly played two hosts to wild orgies, the likes of which even promiscuous singer Ray Charles was surprised by. Like, oh shit, what's going on in here now? Oh. Ray Charles was up in the party. Like, you just stay tuned, Ray. He get to sniffing this shit. He start having flashback memories of when he lost his virginity. They was having orgies in the church in the name of the Lord. Nigga, put that hand on your ass. You start shaking this shit. He put the Holy Ghost in your ass. What the hell? She was around some strange company, man. And that boy Swavo Twain. Her son. I ain't gonna speak on her son, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna shut up. Y'all need to listen to this.
And yet I will be soon enough. Lo and behold, there was a writing room. I was an MCA songwriter at the time. I had just penned the song Seems You Much Too Busy by the group Vertical Hole. I know y'all remember that song. If you don't, go to YouTube, type in Vertical Hole and the song Seems You Much Too Busy. You will see.
Vertical Hole. That sounds like some old sexual shit. Somebody got a what they call that? A whopped ass or something. Vertical Hole. Got an S-shaped ass crack or something. What the hell the Vertical? That's the name of that group.
The three-member group there singing, and I'm in the dark. That was what they did because I was overweight and they didn't want anybody to know how overweight I was. So they shadowed me in the dark. So all you saw was my face. That was an attempt to cover me so that it wouldn't hurt the sales of the record at the time.
Like, I ain't buying that shit, old fat ass. Who that fat ass? The song sound good, but who the big ass? You mean to tell me people wouldn't buy records because it was a big chick in the video? They said the LL Cool J song, doing it well. That was a big chick singing that song. But when it came time to do the music video, they had some little skinny mini chick doing the song. So they was doing that with Angie Stone back in the day. That's fucked up.
Time, it was very disheartening because I didn't think the way it had anything to do with my voice. You had 2 tons of fun. You had all these other big women that was out there putting it down, from CNC Music Factory and, so many other people who wasn't caught up with that. But I just happened to be at a company where they were anal about how big you were. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't help it. The medication that I was taking at the time, which was prednisone, rendered me to be overweight. It was no way around it.
Hold on, wait a minute. She was on birth control, and that's the reason why she was big like that? What medication make you big? So she was on some for a long. She talking about way back in the day.
Couldn't get lipo. I couldn't be cut, period, because you would bleed out. So that was something I had to skate across. Anyway, Puffy just happened to be an intern extraordinaire.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember a gentleman by the name of Kurt Woodley, who was working for Andre Burrell at Uptown. And I come out of the booth from the writing room, which is a space that we all share. Uptown, the studio, the publishing office, Tita Gray or James Jackson's office was right there on the shoulder of the corner, the east side of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came out, Mary J. Blige's then manager let me know. He says, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "My name is Kurt Woodley."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Yeah." He said, "We found an artist and she kind of sounds like you. She reminds us of you, but she's not, polished. And we really think that if you can work with her for a little while, she has a possibility. I mean, she's not nowhere near ready right now."
Oh.
But I didn't know what he was talking about until he finished that sentence. And he said, "We found her at the mall. She was out there doing karaoke. She was doing Anita Baker's music on a karaoke, and
she talking too much, man. That ain't how the story goes. She fucking it up for everybody, man. She ruining the fantasy for so many people out there. That ain't how Mary J. Blige got signed. That ain't the story we was told. That ain't got the glitz and glamour that she needs to maintain her status as a R&B legend, diva. Now Angie telling it. Lead this shit to the bloggers. And that's the reason, I believe that's the main reason why they decided that they had to let her go. Stay in your lane. If you a singer, do songs. If you trying to sue somebody, just sue. Don't tell everybody about it. Man, she just threw Mary J. Blige under the bus. Now she taking full credit for everything Mary done did. She claimed to be Mary J. Blige's sensei. Like she taught her the trick of the trade. Like she's Mary J. Blige's master. If it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't have no Mary J. Blige. And as true as it may be, these people don't make documentaries, they selling books, they making movies. Now they gotta go rewrite the history. And I'm pretty sure Angie telling the truth. But if everybody else sticking to another story and she come with this story, now what they gonna do? It's messed up, man. Trying to make a career on this internet can get you killed, especially if you famous like that. You got to know how to do it. You got to go on the all-out rampage. You can't have no connections. You got to be completely blackballed if you want to go this route. She tried to go the route while still in the industry, while still being able to make shows, while still being able to get some crumbs off the table. Oh my God, man, I can't believe it.
They discovered her. It just happened to be Mary J. Blige. And so they said, can you think you can work with her? And me, I could work with anybody at the time. I was what you call a goat back then. I was hungry. I was passionate about music. So I thought I could fix everything. And so I said, yeah, I'll work with her. So they told her okay, you're going to work with Angie Stone. You're going to work with her. And so I took her to my house. At this particular time, I was living in Little Ferry, New Jersey. And I took her to my house. My then partner, Dave Bright, from the group Vertical Hole, was actually, all he was concerned about was trying to become the next big producer. He was infatuated with Teddy Riley. So everything was, how you like this, how you like this. Well, for me, it was cool because at that time, Prince, that's right, the Prince, had given me all of his equipment. I had a Juno 106 that I prided. That was my pride and joy because Prince had used that to cut Jill Jones's material, his material.
Prince gave Angie Stone all his equipment. Like, she known for playing the saxophone. She known for playing them keyboards. She known for hitting them drums. She known for playing them guitars. Out of all of the people, they give her Mary J. Blige. She up there at Uptown Records. She witnessing the birth of Diddy. And on top of that, and I ain't saying she telling no stories or nothing like that, but Prince gave her all of his equipment. Okay, hey, that's what she claiming. That's what she claiming.
I'm Prince. That's right, the Prince had given me all of his equipment. I had a Juno 106 that I prided. That was my pride and joy because Prince had used that to cut Jill Jones's material, his material. And he had moved out of his penthouse in New York. And he was really took a liking to me. He says, Angie, do you want this equipment and this furniture? Because he couldn't take it with him. And I said, yeah. I mean, he had zebra rugs, all purple leather furniture. It was awesome. And at the time,
where that stuff at? Where it's at? Where's you ain't gonna pawn no Prince furniture. You ain't gonna pawn no Prince nothing, man. Where that stuff at? They need to produce that. Where them keyboards and stuff? Did she still have it in her possession? Where that part at, man? I need to know if she kept this stuff. Ain't nobody gonna hawk nothing that Prince gave them, man, if they do something seriously wrong. Something seriously wrong. Shit, there go your $50 million right there. Shit, $100 million. Something authentically that Prince owned. Come on, man. I don't know.
I couldn't fit it all in my house. So I said, I'm still working a 9 to 5. It's been rough. I said, but I'll find a storage place and put it into a storage place.
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in.
I kept the keyboards and stuff in my house. The furniture and all that stuff went into a storage house near the west side. Lo and behold, I fell behind on the bill. This is very sickening because it should never have happened. And I went one day to settle my bill, and the building had sold all my furniture that Prince had given me. So somehow, someone is sitting with all of Prince's stuff in their space, and they don't have a clue that they have Prince's stuff.
Come on now. Help me make it make sense. She working a 9 to 5. How the hell you even get close to Prince? Why would he even want you over there? What was they doing to where she in this man's personal space? Did he have a recording studio? Did they make songs? Where's the songs with Prince? That was her man's like that. He gave her all of his equipment, all of his furniture, even though she didn't have a place to put it. Shit, run that by Prince. Like, hey, man, I ain't got nowhere to put this shit. I guess I'll put it in storage or something like that. She kept the key. Hey, man, I don't know. That's her story, though. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. I ain't got no choice but to believe it out of respect for Angie, but hey, it is what that's her story. And that's the story I'm gonna believe. That's what I'm gonna stick with. I'm word for word. How she put it, that's how it happened. Why she got to lie. You know what I'm saying? Prince gave her all his furniture, all his equipment. She, even though she ain't had nowhere to put it, she lost it in storage somewhere. She don't, that's where it went.
The Juno 106, which was the keyboard I started recording on, Dave Bright and I broke up, and he kept it, kind of like hold it over my head. But enough of that story. Let me get back to the Mary J. Blige.
What the hell?
So, Mary J. Blige comes to my house in New Jersey, in Little Ferry, New Jersey. And I had written this song called I Ain't Taking No Shorts. I wrote this song because they at Uptown, Kurt Woodley, Puffy, all of the powers that be was saying she ain't ready. She got to get her look together. We don't like the way she looks. And I thought she was very cool. She was average looking young teenager that, you know, obviously had to grow into womanhood, but she wasn't a bad looking girl at all. And you can clearly see that given her beautiful features that she was an attractive girl, but they looked at her as hood girl. And so I was angry for her, and I took the position, okay, I'm gonna write some words that you can really sink your teeth into. And the song was I Ain't Taking No Shorts, no, not this time. And her first line of that song was, baby, don't you know what time it is? Time for me to begin to live. Mm-hmm. She going out here with all the stops saying, y'all can say what you want about me, but I'm going to be that chick. You wait and see.
Hey, man, I want to thank everybody in the comment section for clearing that up about Angie Stone and Prince's relationship, you know, because I'm ignorant when it comes to that. You know, I don't know. Y'all know a lot better than me, so I apologize if I made it seem like she was lying about her relationship with Prince. Like I said, what she got to lie for? She been in the game for a long time, since the 70s, and she is talented, was talented back then, all the way up until she passed. So I could see Prince taking a liking to her, and I could see her being the reason why D'Angelo had Prince's style. You know what I'm saying? People were saying that D'Angelo sounded like Prince, and Angie Stone was writing his material. So that's maybe where she got the inspiration from. That same keyboard that Prince gave her, she probably let D'Angelo use that on his album. So, you know, I want to thank everybody for clearing that up. And people, you know, y'all believe her story. I believe her story too. You know, it is what it is.
And Mary sung that song with all her heart. Mm-hmm. We never got to finish the song, but I believe I heard Mary speak of the song maybe one time since her success took over. And she would always say, boy, Angie Stone's a very pretty girl. And I can remember I ain't taking no shorts. Mm-hmm. And that was all I needed to be acknowledged, that she never forgot. But I know that those lyrics put a bout of self-esteem in her spirit that day that says, you know what, they're not going to treat me any kind of way. Mm-hmm. So by the time they did find Mary J. Blige's it spot, mm-hmm, she became that it girl. If you can recall the group, the sequence that I was with at the time, we used to wear these metallic jackets with these white cheerleader skirts. You got to remember, we came from being cheerleaders. It wasn't very long after that Mary J. Blige was seen on a brownstone set of steps with a football jersey on and a white cheerleader skirt. Well, I was in my feelings because nobody in New York was wearing those tennis skirts. The sequence brought those tennis skirts to reality.
Damn, see, that's why she entitled to so much money, because they've been ripping her off the whole time she been in the entertainment business, man. Everything about Mary J. Blige, they got it from Angie Stone. Same thing with Jill Scott. Everything about Jill Scott, they got it from Angie Stone. She was wondering, where the hell is my money? Was they giving her hand-me-down furniture to keep her quiet for this long? Did they hear about what Prince did? And they figured, hell, give her a shag rug and a sofa, she ain't gonna be worried about the money. Every time she start looking like she about to fix her face and say something about the money, somebody give her a Casio keyboard or some shit. Is that how it went for all them years? People ripping you off, taking advantage. Now you about to be 70 and you wonder where the money at. Next thing you know, you get hit by a truck or something like that. People saying it wasn't no accident. I don't know, man.
And Mary J. Blige made those skirts famous. She wore it, and then the next thing you know, everybody wanted to be like Mary J. Blige. But I personally took it as she got some of that Angie Stone energy in her system, and she went out there like the beast she ended up being. She don't never have to really acknowledge me, but I was surprised at the end of the day when my song that we talked about the other day, Every Day and Die, was leaked on her project. I really thought she had a lot more respect for me than that. After all, my love and my hard work and perseverance with you was genuine. So that's my secret rendition of that whole Uptown scandal. Now, the other piece of the puzzle that you guys would want to know is, I know you recall back then when they had that big concert down at the college and all the stampedes and people were killed and Father MC's baby mama lost her baby in life. It was just a mess. And people were crushed at the door. Well, I'll tell you this. Up until that time, Puffy, like I said, was all over Uptown. He was the man. He was the one that wanted to be recognized for this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And so, you know, very often, you know, he would look right past me. I would be there and he would just keep it moving, wouldn't say anything. I can remember when there were gunmen standing in the hallway at MCA because so many threats had gone out because he and Heavy D, bless his heart and rest his soul, had been together on that party. And all the threats that went out that they were going to do this and they were going to do that. It really resonated and hit home with Puffy. I just happened to be in the studio this particular day. And because he never, ever really bothered with me or spoke to me in that fashion, I wasn't a part of Uptown. I was just at MCA. On this particular day, I was coming off the elevator. I will never forget it as long as I live. And Puffy came to me, first time, speaking to me as a decent human being. And he said, "Hey, Miss Stone." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm shocked you speaking to me." He said, "Miss Stone, would you please pray with me.
See, that's when they want a sister in their corner when they need prayer. Y'all see how these niggas do? He had Cassie on his arm for 20 years. Now she's suing his ass. You know what I'm saying? He had them little inner business, them little skinny, winny ramen noodles on his arm. She was surprised that he even spoke to her. Back in the day, you see Angie Stone walk clean past her like she don't even exist because that ain't his type. Soon as he get in some trouble, he looking for the biggest, blackest sister he could find so she could pray for his ass. The first thing come out his mouth, Angie, you think you could pray for me? No, I know. You probably got a Bible in your purse and everything. You holy. I ain't never seen you at no freak-off party. They better never invite your ass. But if you could pray for me, I see you in your business and you gotta be close to God looking like that. Cause ain't nobody trying you out here in these streets, man. Can you pray for me, Angie? I wouldn't have did a damn thing for that fool.
I said, well, of course.
Hold on.
What's up? He said, as long as I live. And Puffy came to me, first time, speaking to me as a decent human being. And he said, hey, Miss Stone. I said, yeah, what's up? He said, how are you? I said, I'm fine. I'm shocked you speaking to me. He said, Miss Stone, would you please pray with me? I said, well, of course.
He was looking for that melanin, y'all. He knew that shit was gonna work. No light skins they ain't gonna help you with nothing spiritual. He looked for them. I'm trying to tell y'all, he ain't no fool. I would have went, shit, if I was in trouble, I seen Angie Stone, I would have asked her to pray for me too.
When he asked me to pray with him, I believe at that moment, Puffy was terrified for his life. I think that he was afraid because all of the things that had gone out and about that party, they were singling him out, and I don't think that he thought he was going to survive it. And I was just happy that whenever he didn't speak to me, I knew he couldn't see me. But on this day, he saw the God in me, which was so not about me, but it was so about the spirit that I carried. And I can honestly tell you that this particular day, I stood there and I prayed with Sean, P. Diddy, Puffy, Combs, because he cried out for help. Does that excuse his ongoing behavior? Of course, this was years ago. But the fact that he actually acknowledged God lets me know that at one time he was a real soul that was not tainted to the point that he could not feel. But for the first time, I believe he feared God. So I'm here to tell you that, quite contrary to what you guys may think, Sean Puffy Combs asked me to pray for him and with him.
What about all them times she was at them parties and seeing some weird stuff go on? Well, them times she was around them celebrities and they was doing things they had no business doing. And they figure, oh, she ain't gonna say nothing. She just in the background. All these years later, they see a blog like this and she talking and she telling. This had to drive people crazy. She a whole encyclopedia of things behind the scenes. And all out of the blue, she felt like sharing with the public on lives, on social media. Do you know how many people were shaking in their boots when she started doing this? This the worst thing she could have possibly done. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. I made this video to let y'all know that Gene Deal, he talking on it. And he ain't done. He got a lot of information. And when this man talk, That's when people listen. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all hit them like buttons. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this, man. Because justice is on the way. When Gene Deal start talking, he ain't gonna stop. He single-handedly is the reason why Diddy in jail right now. If it wasn't for this man, Puffy would still be out there on the streets. He's certified. He got pictures with celebrities. He don't bodyguard of celebrities. He know who's who. He don't been to the parties. He was there the night Biggie got killed. He was there the night Tupac got killed. There's nothing that this man don't know. And now he's speaking on Angie Stone. Y'all stay tuned, because Gene ain't done talking. Y'all make sure y'all do me a favor too, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button too. I'm going to highlight y'all later.